All right. Shalom, everybody. Today is a real good day. This video right here is dedicated to the women that are in Yasharel. And also, this video is dedicated to proving that the Messiah of the New Testament is the Creator, is the Mighty One, and does exist, and holds all things up as Scripture says. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you why the female, why the woman is the creator or master builder of the universe. So women and men, I want you to pay attention. This is not leaving the men out either. I'm going to be actually clearing some things up as we're going through the lesson. All right? Now, what I want to do is I want everybody to be able to understand Genesis 1 all the way from 1 to 27. Okay? Now, as we read in Genesis, and I'll read it right now, it says, in the beginning, Elohim created the Shemayim and the earth. But it's something key here that a lot of translators miss. And the key thing here is the et. Okay, the et. Now, a lot of people have these speculations about what et is, or what it means, or if it's a definitive marker, or something like that to that degree. But the fact is this. You can find et all throughout the scriptures attached to important key scriptures that either shows salvation, that either shows vibration or creation or piercing. So with that being said, we know that et is very important to the Hebrew language. So why is it not carried over into the translation? All right. So let's get to this. Feminine singular nouns end with either hey or ta. Okay? Feminine singular nouns end with either hey or ta. For an example, you have bat. Okay, bat means daughter. We see that this is feminine because the ta is at the end. It means daughter. But this also can be derivative from bet. And bet, not to say that it's feminine in the sense of the definition of it, which we're about to read right now. Bet actually shows you something. First of all, bet would be a tent floor plan. It would mean family, house, or inn. Okay. Same thing here. Let's read it from. Sorry. Okay, bet. Household. All right. This is a house, right? Amongst, within, inside. Duality. Okay, duality. That is a key word. Good and evil. Choices. The balance between the mighty one and man. Family. What do you need to make a family? Of course, you got to have a man and a woman. But right now, we're focusing on the woman because she is a very important key to all creation. Let's go and read some more in Genesis, right? It's going to get real deep in a minute. The science that's inside the scriptures are, amazing. But okay. It says, in the beginning, Elohim created the Shemayim and the earth came to be formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Ruach, okay, of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. So now we see the Ruach, which also we know is feminine. And when I mean feminine, I'm not talking about that the Ruach was literally a woman, okay, but the Ruach serves purpose of the attributes of women and the femininity of women, okay? The Ruach is that principle, all right? So here we have Elohim, okay? And by the way, we have Elohim et, then the Ruach, okay? Now, and it says, and Elohim said, let light come to be, and light came to be. So this is very important. I'm going to put my Bible up for a second. This is very important. I want you to understand something, people. All right, and we just want to get into it real quick. Light has two properties to it. Light has a wave property and a particle property. Now, this is something that's unexplainable, and scientists today are still trying to get to the root of the matter, but they have it. Okay, and for light to have two properties, okay, bait, all right, two properties. It conveys something in the Hebrew. It shows you in the Hebrew that this is a family. Light is a complete family. It has both waves and particles. Okay? So when you're talking about waves and particles, you're talking about female aspect, male aspect. All right? Now, let's get to this. Let's get some understanding real quick. All right? Let's check out the particles of waves. The particles and waves. All right? Let's go to Revelation. Revelation 21, 9, 10 through 11. And it says, and one of the seven messengers who held the seven bowls filled the seven last plagues came to me and spoke with me, saying, come, I shall show you the bride, the lamb's wife. Okay? And he carried me away in the Ruach to a great and high mountain and showed me the great city, the Kodesh Jerusalem, descending out of the Shemayim from Elohim. All right? And as we keep going on and going on, we can see the glorious splendors of this kingdom. All right. But what I wanted to show you is this is supposed to be the bride, the bridegroom. This is for the bridegroom. All right. You're seeing right here another feminine aspect being applied to the kingdom and being applied to the people. Matter of fact, hold up. Let's go to John 1:11. All right, John 1:11 says this. It says, he came to his own, and his own did not receive him. He came to his own, but his own did not receive him. This is very key, because in the beginning, there was light. There was a wave, okay, a wave aspect and a particle aspect. We are the material of the particle. That's what we are. That's what we represent. The spirit represents the wave. Whoever coming in, could you just please mute your mic real quick? So when we're dealing with light, and I said that we have two principles in light, or two aspects in light, the wave and the particle, it makes sense that he came into his own, but his own did not receive him. It did not understand him. Because in the beginning, mute your mic real quick. Because in the beginning, we see that the Et, Elohim Et, which also denotes male and the feminine aspect, created the light, said, let there be light. And who carried that mission out? The spirit, the Ruach, the feminine principle carried this out. Now we can see this also dealing with woman's pregnancy. Excuse me for a minute. We can see this with woman's pregnancy. And I want to read something actually. Because light actually has a magnetic principle to it as well. Okay? Now this is what happens. The Father gives, or the Creator gives the information or gives the command, and the Spirit carries it out. The word itself is also correlated to seed. Okay? When you put seed in a woman, she fertilizes it. All right? And we're going to get deeper into that as well. What the woman actually does concerning the fertilization. What is she in the scientific aspect of things with material and light? All right? But I want to read this real quick. All right. It says, how does the sperm steer a course through the fallopian tubes? Okay. Professor Isabach discovered that the eggs call upon the mature sperm by releasing a chemical substance. All right. Now, it's more to it than that, because the actual signal that the egg gives off to the sperm is not strong enough to go throughout all of the fallopian tubes, because this signal is basically wave-like. So it gets absorbed into the walls. It doesn't go that far, but it can reach the sperm, you know what I'm saying, but it does not have a long distance of a signal, you know what I'm saying? So you can go look that up, and it's real unique, man, how the egg does that, how the sperm actually is attracted to the egg. Now, I want to get to that, the attraction. All right? This is why the Bible says that the Messiah holds all things up and he's all in all. All right. Now, check this. First, we're going to deal with mass. All right. First, we're going to deal with mass. And let me go ahead and screen share and we can really get into something. I hope everybody can see that. If they can, let me know. Hold on. Here we go. I'm on screen share. All right. Screen share. Come on. All right. Here we go. Screen share is on. Now, I hope everybody can see this. Did it pop up yet? I still don't see it popping up. Come on, pop up. Mm. How my screen share is acting funny? I'm just going to read it. Okay. In physics, mass is a property of a physical body which determines the strength of its mutual gravitational attraction to other bodies. Let me read that again. It says, in physics, mass is a property of a physical body, which determines the strength of its mutual gravitational attraction to other bodies. Now let's go ahead and read this in scriptures because this is very scriptural, and scriptures are definitely dealing with heavy physics, whether people don't like it or not. It's just fact. So first we're going to read what this mass is in the Bible. Then we're going to read what it attracts. How does this body obtain its mass? It's still dealing with the woman is the master builder of the universe. You have to follow along with what I'm bringing you because it's going to give you some insight about Genesis. Genesis is the most important book in the Bible. It conveys so much that people just miss it completely. And then we're going to go into the scriptures indefinitely to show you the feminine principles concerning wisdom and the Aleph and Tav. I just brought the Aleph and Tav in the beginning because I want you to have an idea of what creative force or what creative principle we're working with. Where do we get this understanding from in the Bible to actually be able to go into physics and understand what it's saying? So let's go to Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 2 verses 47. And it reads this. It says, praising Elohim and having favor with all the people, and the master added to the assembly those who were being saved day by day. He added those to the assembly. He added those properties or those people to the body. Now, when you are looking at the Bible, what is the concept of the church building itself up and becoming massive? Because it does what? It attracts other people. This is the whole concept of the Bible in the realm of physics. No matter if nobody wants to accept it or not, we are dealing with the law of attraction. All right, this is what we're dealing with. And nobody has to say that this is something that people put into the Bible. This is something that the Bible within itself conveys. It's not something that you take and put in it. It's something that it conveyed it already. It already has these principles and calculations in it concerning the law of attraction. Let's go to John 12 and John chapter 12 and verse 32. John chapter 12 verse 32. It says this. It says, and if I am lifted up from the earth, shall draw all unto myself. Now let's get a more deeper understanding of this Messiah saying that if I am lifted up, I draw all men to myself. Watch how this correlates perfectly with math is concerning physics. Let's go to Colossians. This is the attracting part. This is the body. All right. Everybody has to understand this. This is the body that the mass is accumulating to. And mass is measured not by weight. All right. That's not how mass is measured. All right. But we'll get into that a little bit later on too. Now, Colossians chapter 2, verses 16 says this. Let no one therefore judge you in eating or in drinking or in respect of a festival or a new moon or Shabbat. It is important to keep Shabbat and the laws, everybody. It's very important because it all deals with the realm of physics. It deals with how things were created. It deals with how all existence is here today. All right, it says, excuse me, let no one deprive you from the prize. One who takes delight in false humility and worship of messengers, taking his stand on what he has not seen, puffed up by his fleshly mind. And check this, and not holding fast to the head, from whom all the body, nourished and knit together by joints and ligaments, grow with the growth of Elohim. So we have to understand something, that the Messiah is the body. The feast days are the body of the Messiah, of the Creator. This is what this is saying. Now I'm teaching you what math is in the Bible. We done went through a couple of verses, and it should register very easily with you. And you should have an understanding that this is still in the realm of physics. It's not going beyond it. It's lining completely up with it. Now, let's go to 1 Corinthians. And this is going to this is going to take it home. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. And I appreciate the sisters that's joining me, because this is definitely especially for you. And you are definitely important to the keys of life. And not on a comedic sense, not on the black woman is God and we need to worship the woman and, you know, things of that nature. But we're showing, I'm showing people that women are just as equally important to all creation of existence. They are equally important. And therefore, we must treat them with that respect, because they cause a balance to us. And I'm going to show you why people are with mechanism that is inside of people that the Most High uses to allow them to do things that defile the body, like homosexuality. All right? Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 5, verses 26 and 27, verses 5 says this. They are different kinds of services, but the same master. And there are different kinds of working, but it is the same Elohim who works all in all. The same Elohim who works all in all. Okay? So now, verse 26, it says this. It says, and if one member suffers, all the members suffers with it. Or if one member sings, all the members rejoice with it. It says, and you are a body of Messiah, and members individually. Now let's go ahead and read what I pulled up concerning mass. It says mass is a property of a physical body. The physical body, which is the Messiah, the mass, which is the people, is a property of a physical body, which determines the strength of its mutual gravitational attraction to other bodies. Wow. Because our job is to be what, everybody? A light to the Gentiles. To attract people to come into this body. Because it's the spiritual that made this physical body here. So check this. Let's read more. It says, it's resistance to being accelerated by a force. And in the theory of relativity gives the mass energy content of a system. Wow. It's resistant to being accelerated by a force, of being changed by a force. So this mass is a property of a physical body which determines the strength of its mutual gravitational attraction to other bodies. It's resistant to being accelerated by a force. So this is a resistance, okay, against being accelerated by a force. Now, what force is this? This stuff is very simple because it's in the Bible. What force is this? Let's read. Let's read this. And if anybody doesn't know, matter of fact, I'll just click on it. Matter of fact, let me see if I can just go back. And we can do it like this. Inertia. Inertia. Inertia is the resistance of any physical object to any change in its state of motion, including changes to its speed and direction or the state of rest. Is it not clicking to the brothers and sisters that read Torah, that read the Bible, what this is actually talking about? Because there is an outside force that is trying to change the direction of the church or of the assembly. There are people that are trying to change the direction or the initial meaning and definition of the church. Okay, we're going to read just in case, people don't understand what that means. Let's go to Malachi 3 and 6. Malachi 3 and 6. Matter of fact, let me look at my, okay, where you at, Malachi? Malachi 3 and 6. Malachi 3 and 6 reads this. Hold on, I'm sorry, wait a minute. Yeah. Malachi 3 and 6. That's not Malachi, hold up. Just get back. There's Zechariah. Haggai, where you at, Malachi? Oh, here we go. Malachi 3 and 6 reads this. It says, for I am Yahuwah. I shall not change, and you, O sons of Jacob, shall not come to an end. The Most High is this force that is not going to change by any outside force at all. And let's read another scripture. Let's go to Hebrews 13 and 8. Hebrews 13 and 8 reads this. Yahushua, the Messiah, is the same yesterday and today and forevermore. Now check this out. This is the inertia part as well. Do not be born or do not consent by various and strange teachings. For it is good for the heart to be established by favor, not with food, which have not profited those who have been occupied with them. Let's read it again. Inertia is the resistance of any physical object to any change in its state or motion, including change to its speed and direction or the state of rest. Nothing can prevail against us. Nothing can prevail against us. This is why the Messiah also said in Matthew 16:18, because first of all, the physical properties are nothing but mere expressions of the spiritual properties or the unseen properties. Okay? We have to understand this. This Bible is too deep. But it's simple. It's very simple. It gives you this simple understanding. But man comes and complicates it. But it's okay. Because the Most High always has a way out and a plan for his children. We will not be caught in a bond. Okay? They cannot use the Most High and his power to confound us. Matthew chapter 16, verses 18 reads this. This is powerful. And it says, and I also say to you that you are Kepha or Peter, and on this rock I shall build my assembly, and the gates of the grave shall not overcome it. Nothing will stop this. This is the inertia of the creative force. The Messiah is this creative force. All right? We have to get this in our minds. We have to understand this. So let me read this again for complete clarity of what this is saying. Mass is the property of a physical body which determines the strength of its mutual gravitational attraction to other bodies. Its resistance to being accelerated by a force. So this mass is the property of this physical body which is added to this physical body which determines the strength of its gravitational or attractive force to other bodies. All right? And it is also as well the cause of its resistance from being altered or changed by a force. You see this principle in Torah when it says, in the beginning, Elohim created the Shemayim and the earth came to be formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Ruach of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. And Elohim said, let light come to be, and light came to be. This is perpetual. This will never change. No man, no demon, no outside force, no principle will ever change this. All right? So now, let's go back to the light particle. Because I want you to understand this. Aleph and Tav. Let's go. We find the Aleph and Tav in the very first verse of scriptures in Bereshit, Genesis 1:1. Okay? It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? Now, before I read this right here, I just want you to understand something. You see the bet at the beginning of Bereshit, and you see the Tav at the end. The Tav is what, everybody, when it's at the end of a word? Let's read that again. Feminine, singular, noun, end with either hey or tav, right? So this right here is definitely not a noun, but it has the tav there, and the tav makes this feminine. The tav makes this feminine. Then you have the bet, and what did I tell you what bet means? Duality, household, choices, a balance between the mighty one and man, or family. So here we see a family. Y'all gotta follow me, man. A family, Bereshit, Bara, in the start, created Elohim et Aleph Tav, Shemayim, Uwa, Eretz. Elohim at, the creative force. The Aleph and Tav, the creative force. The Aleph and Tav is the creative force according to our book. You say, how do you know this? This is esoteric. This is something that the Kabbalah used, or something that the sages or the Gnostics put. No. Let's get to it. Why do we know that the Aleph and Tav here is actually the creative force? First of all, we're going to go to John 1:1. Everybody's familiar with John 1:1. It says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. Right there, everybody, Aleph and Tav is actually the beginning, Aleph, and the end of the Hebrew alphabet, Tav. All of the letters of the alphabet are in between these two letters. This is the complete word. And it says that the word was what? The word was God. Right here, Elohim. Elohim, At. Now, people will tell you that At is a pointer or a marker to this word. That is false. According to the context and scriptures when we read Torah, that is very false. This is Elohim, At. This is the word. Elohim, At. Et is also masculine and feminine. Women, you to understand this, my sisters, that you are the creative force of this universe. You are very important and significant to the balance of our universe. Like I said, I'm not taking the man out. I'm actually showing you the masculine principle as well, because Messiah is a masculine person. And this is where you come with the light waves, or the light of the principles or the aspects of light. Light has two properties, wave and particle. Messiah was the particle of the wave. That's why he said, let there be light, and light was. Light came to existence. Because you have the masculine, which was Elohim, speaking to the spirit, which is feminine, which the feminine created the light. And created all things in the universe and the earth. You see this? This is why we're going into with masses. To show you that these are the principles that created all existence. And even scientists and physics say the same thing. They just don't use the Bible. And I will show you a diagram of what they call the Big Bang, and I will read some things to give you a more in-depth understanding of why the Bible is so key to how everything was made. The woman is the Higgs boson. The Higgs boson is what gives mass to a particle. That's what the Higgs boson is. You are the God particle. Females, women of Yasharel. You are the God particle. You give mass to particles. Now let's keep going, right? Aleph, bull, strength, king, first, head, leader, father, Lord, master, or Abba Father. Unity, one, Ahad, which means one, two can be one. And we're not talking about Trinity and Godhead here, people. I'm not a Trinitarian at all. So if you think that, you're not listening, what I'm trying to convey to you. Let me finish. Elohim Almighty. Tav is a mark. Two crossing sticks. And if you understand that if you have Aleph, which also means a Chad, and then you have Tav, which you see two sticks together, still denoting the family principle, the Achadness, the one, the two in one. Mark, sign, signature. Let's read. Revelations. And we're going down to Revelation chapter 17. It says, and when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. And he placed his right hand on me, saying, do not be afraid. I am the first and the last. In the Greek, it is Alpha And what is it? Well, I don't have the Greek, what they actually have for the Greek. But still in all, this is the Aleph and Tav, the beginning of the letters of the alphabet to the end. The word. The word. That's what he is saying right here in verses 17 of Revelation chapter 1. I am the beginning and the end, and the living one. Let's get this. All right, let's go into it. Now, remember what I told you about Bates. All right, I'm going to put this up for a minute. What I told you about Bates or bots. I'm sorry, bots means daughter. It is feminine. Bots also can be derived from bet, which means house, family. Okay? Now, let's get to the feminine aspect of all creation and why we know that the feminine aspect was used. Why is the woman the feminine aspect? I'm going to get to the conclusion of the matter. I'm going to show everybody this. I just want y'all to follow along with the physics. Physics proves this. What you have here, if everybody can see it, and let me make sure that my screen, if this is on my screen is being shared. And if y'all want to, you can click on it to see it. It is result of search for wisdom. The Strong's Hebrew Lexicon search for wisdom. By Na Bina from 995 means understanding knowledge. Okay? Meaning perfectly, understanding wisdom. Now check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Wisdom is so associated with the Ruach for a reason. And not only is wisdom associated with the Ruach for a reason, we have to understand what is wisdom. See, wisdom isn't blind. Wisdom is not something that does not know. Let's see what wisdom is. Let's see what wisdom means. All right? Out of the Hebrews 24:5:1, Chachma, from 24:4:9, wisdom in a good sense, skillful, wisdom, wisely, wit. Oh yeah, it's about to get heavy. Let's go to Chachma. I just want to give you some understanding about this word wisdom being applied in these other words. Wisdom, very wise, woman. So let's get it. Let's go to Proverbs 8. And y'all know Proverbs 8. Everybody knows Proverbs 8. But I want you to understand what wisdom really is, y'all. Because when I'm going to read to you out of Genesis, you're going to understand what created the sin of the earth. You're going to understand this. The woman can be a very destructive force too, everybody. Oh, yeah. And if you do your research on CERN and you see what they're trying to find, which is called the Higgs boson, the Higgs boson can connect with other Higgs bosons and can cause a chain reaction. It can cause a black hole. This is scientific. This is not something that is religious. This is not religious. Everything that I showed you in this Bible has nothing to do with the belief system or religion. It is facts. Point blank, period. So if anybody does not feel that this is because they're haters, because they don't understand that this is what the Bible shows. Like I said before, the woman is a Higgs boson. She's also the creative force that made everything. So therefore, she's the creative force that can destroy everything. This is why we have to appreciate these women, y'all. This is scientific. Proverbs chapter 8 and 19, all the way down. It says, riches and esteem are with me, enduring wealth and righteous. My fruit is better than gold and fine gold, and my increase than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the path of right ruling, to bestow substance on those who love me. Man, you got to understand that. And to fill their treasures. Yahuwah, which the word Yahuwah means the self-existing one, which means he did not create himself, he already was. That's what self-existence means. So this is what self-existence has done. This is why women are the creative force of the universe, because the universe was created by the self-existent one. Matter and time was created by the self-existent one. It says, Yahuwah possessed me, the beginning of his ways, as the first of his works of old. I was anointed ages ago at the first, before the earth was, when there was no depth. I was brought forth, when there was no springs heavy with water, before mountains were sunk, before the hills, I was brought forth. Before he had made the earth and the fields, or the first dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he decreed a vault on the face of the deep, a principle or a law to contain the waters. When he established the clouds above, the principles and the laws that established the clouds to do what they do. When he made the foundations of the deep strong, when he gave the sea its limits, so that the waters would not transgress his command. When he decreed the foundation of the earth, then I was beside him, a master workman, a delight day by day, rejoicing before him all the time, rejoicing in the world, his earth, my delight were with the sons of men. This is the same thing that the Messiah said. He is the light, that light of all men that come into the world. He is the awareness, the self-awareness of that we exist, that we can acknowledge the existence. He is the particle. He is a part of the light. He is the masculine and the feminine. I'm going to show you this at the end, but bear with me with this. What wisdom is saying here. And I showed you wisdom, woman, right? But when you go back up to, where's it at? When you go back up to Chakma or Chakma, from the Hebrews 24:49, in the good, skillful, wisdom, wisely, wit. Wisdom is saying, I was beside him as a master craftsman. Verse 30, then I was beside him a master workman. Wisdom is experience, everybody. Wisdom is experience. You have to go through something in order for you to get wisdom. That's what you have to do for wisdom. Same thing with a man and a woman. You have to go through an experience to get to know this person. Isn't that deep? Maybe it's not deep. Because a man also has a feminine principle also to his body. And a woman also has a masculine principle to her body. And when the two act out of line, and when the two disrespect the creative force that created them, the creative force allows them to have an imbalance. The man will lean more to his feminine side, being homosexual, and the woman will lean more to being in her masculine side. Do you understand this, everybody? This is physics 101 with the Bible. This is mathematically and scientifically proven. The instability of the creative force that you're abusing will cause you to be unbalanced because we each have the same principle within us, men and women. But we are more masculine and the woman is more feminine. Therefore, we need to be together. Why? Because her attraction, opposites attract, her attraction or her being who she is actually attracts her opposite. It makes my masculine to become more fulfilled. I am balanced with this woman. And the same thing with the woman. My masculine pulls on her feminine. Positive and negative. And when you put them together, you have a positive. You create something good. That's why the Father said, he looked at his creation, or he looked at the light, he looked at the earth, he looked at all of the creatures that he made, he even looked at man and said, it is good. When did man become bad? When the imbalance came. Let me show you the imbalance. I'm just showing you the destructive force of the feminine principle of the woman, because she embodies this principle of creation, everybody. I'm not leaving the man out. I don't have to go into the man. I'm doing this for the women, so they can have self-awareness of their creative and their destructive force, because it's stronger than ours. Point blank, period. Now let's go to Genesis. And let's go to Genesis chapter 3, verses 6. And it reads, and the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise. A tree desirable to make one wise. Let's look this up. And do I have my nope, hold on. Let's look this up. Let's do this. Matter of fact, I got my Strongs right here. I don't even have to go there. Let me just go back to let me go back to the interlinear real quick. I got my Strongs right here. Do anybody know what wise means? Because I just gave you a definition of wisdom. So let's go down the line with this. Let's go down the line with this. In the Strong's Concordance, in the Hebrew dictionary, 2449 says, Chachem, a prime root, to be wise in mind, word, and action. To be wise in mind, word, and action. Exceeding, teach, wisdom, be, make self, show self, wise. Self, wise, deal, never so, wisely, make wiser. This fits in the context completely with this story, because the woman did what when she went to go to the woman did what? She gave to the man. Okay, let's go down to 2450. Chachem from 2449. Wise, intelligent, skillful, or artful. All right? Cunning, man, subtle, wise-hearted man. Let's go to 2451. Chachma, wisdom, in a good sense, skillful, wisdom, wisely, wit. We read that, right? Chachma. This is another one, 2452. Wisdom. Wisdom is experience. She experienced something other than the commandments of the Creator. That's why sin came into the world. And I'm not blaming the sin on the woman. Don't get me twisted. I'm just showing you that the woman is also a destructive force as well, if you yield to it. We got to understand something. This Bible is all about relationships and unity, and also sex is very important because sex shows you how the universe was created on a micro level. It still isn't something that scientists or comedics or Hebrews that are deep into this thing can still just imagine and tell you verbatim and show you verbatim how it happened. That's impossible. But we still have things that shows us on a minute level to our understanding of how the world was created, and the feminine principle is the master of that. Because Elohim said, let there be light, and the spirit hovered over the face of the deep, and it became light. The egg, the sperm from the man, from the masculine, transferred to the feminine, and the feminine created, added mass, added structure, added sight, added awareness to the baby. You understand this? And I'm not yelling at the sisters that's up here. I'm just saying as people watch this, I want them to understand this, that this is not a religious point of view. This is not a Christian point of view. This is universal. This is what made everything. So the Bible is not about or look insignificant concerning science, because it is simple science. And the Bible says what scientists are discovering today, that lets you know that it is divine. The proof is what you're discovering, not what we're reading. Because it's always been here. So, let's go. I just want to show you in the lineage that X, right here, let me see if everybody can see that. If y'all got to, just click on my screen. It says, Bereshit, Bara, and the starting point created Elohim At. Shemayim's the heaven and the earth. At, right there. And this is what they would tell you this is. Do not trust these people. Because why they did not translate, and like I said, there's things out there that people try to correlate with this because there's other type of things that are just like the Aleph and Tav in other languages is not transferred. No, this is very different in perspective of truth. It's a part of speech, all right, parsing abbreviation. That's what they tell you. That's what they tell you this is concerning the rules of the language. But now we're going to see, hold on, as soon as this thing load up, now we're going to see the definition that they give it. This is a ploy. This is something that they did not understand. They try to make this, hold on. All right. They